What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Cjthecheesedj here, and we are back with a brand new ARK video for you guys today. And today, guys, Crystal Isles has dropped, the Tropeognathus has dropped, everything's come out today. So guys, you can expect a couple of videos coming your way today. But the first one, guys, we'll be going over the Tropheo itself. Now, as you can see, we've got a pretty aggressive one on us at the moment. What we're going to start off with first is, you can see we're currently riding our one. This one was just force tamed. So, I mean, like, there's nothing special about it. We will be going over later in the video how to actually tame these guys up. Good news is they're actually normally bowlable, so you can actually bowler them normally. Anyway, this is the new dude, the new Tropeognathus. He does look pretty cool, a little bit annoying. He is essentially a reskin of a tappy. If you listen closely, you can hear the sounds that he makes, and as well as that, his movement patterns and like his design is essentially the same as a tappy. We'll spawn a tappy in so you guys can see. But nonetheless, this guy does have some pretty cool abilities. We're going to jump off here. Can you... There we go. That's chilling right there. All right. We're going to spawn in a tappy real quick to show you guys just the difference between the two. So we'll just dump it in here. There we go. So like these guys are literally exactly the same. Like, the head's changed, but like, other than that, everything else is pretty much the same. Like, look at that. Okay, maybe they took a little bit off the wings, but like the sounds and everything like that, it's all the same. Nonetheless, we're not going to get too angry about it. It's wild card, but nonetheless, the Tropheo has a really good plethora of abilities. So we'll first start off with the basics. You actually don't need a saddle to ride this guy. You can see there we're riding him without a saddle. Granted, he is extremely slow without the saddle. And we'll show you guys that in a sec. He's got a right click, which I'm not 100% what it does yet. I haven't actually figured it out. For some reason, I just don't know what it does, but you can only do it while flying. You can't actually do it while you've landed. He's got a primary attack, which is just a normal biting, damaging ability. Like I said, I don't know what the right click does. I've used it, and it doesn't do any damage to dinos. So like, you can see here, we're like attacking stuff. The only thing I can think of is that it's the one that you want to use to like grind stuff. I haven't figured out how to get him to grind stuff. You can see here we've got a shotgun in our inventory. We're going to jump up here. I'm going to try this. Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure what the right click does. If you guys know, let me know. Like I said, this guy has just come out. Well, for me anyway, because Australia. Nonetheless, let's move on to him. So, you can see we've got a bunch of grenades, bunch of gasoline in his inventory. Let's chuck the saddle on. Now, this saddle isn't cheap. So, we'll show you guys what it needs to be crafted. 120 crystal, 450 fiber, 325 hide, 600 metal ingots, and 250 polymer. So, it is pretty expensive, but it's definitely worth it, trust me. These are basic stats for a level 150 force tamed. So, you can see he's got pretty decent health, okay-ish stamina, semi-decent weight. Melee damage, I don't know if you'll really be attacking it too much. It does do a small amount of damage. You definitely wouldn't want to use this guy in like close-up combat. Nonetheless, you can see we have the saddle on this big guy. So we'll show you guys what it does. Now, if you hit control on computer, that activates the jet. So you can see there we get a slight boost to our speed. Gasoline gets used slowly. And above where the grenades and the gasoline is, that is actually your speed. So from there, if we were to hit shift, you can see we start taking off. We start flying. Now, this enables you to, well, fly really fast. But you can also see in the bottom right-hand corner, we've got this wing sort of icon popping up. That is the Tropeo's draft ability. So if you're flying pretty close to the ground, if you're flying behind another flyer, you can actually hit spacebar and gain a burst of speed. Now, you can see there our speed bar just goes to full. Crystal Isles isn't fully optimized yet, so like, I don't think it was ready to be released, to be honest. But you can see there, if we come down here, we'll get another draft of speed shortly. Do you want to trigger for me, game? You can also trigger it while behind other flyers. So let's... Okay, so I'm mistaken. You actually need the jet to do the draft. But you can see there, we've gained a boost of speed. And we weren't holding shift that entire time. So we'll come back here. You can see there, we've got another draft coming up. We're not holding shift. And you can see that it sort of saves you on the gasoline and it increases your speed. If we hit shift, we go full max velocity, and you can see we created a draft off the back of the Quetz. So as long as we're flying around that Quetz, we will gain this draft ability and enable ourselves to fly faster, which is really handy, and I can see it being really useful in like PvP situations. If you're trying to hunt down other Tropeos or like other flyers or Pteranodons or anything like that, Because yeah, you can just draft off the back of the dinos and gain a huge boost of speed. Now, as for the mounted gun, I was actually expecting like a sort of, what's the right word? Like a machine gun, but it's actually a grenade launcher. So you fire freaking grenades off the back of your Tropeo. Now you can also see we get drafts off anything that flies. So RGs, Pteranodons, you name it. That sort of stuff we can get drafts off. And we'll just land here. You can also make a gust as well. While you've got a certain amount of speed on your bar. We're just trying to land here. The only problem is trying to land with this guy. All you need to do is just deactivate the jet thrusters and you can land. Now, a little bit of a note. You can't actually use the cannon without the jet thruster. So you need to constantly have the jet thruster activated to be able to fire the grenades into whatever it is you're trying to kill. But nonetheless, this guy is pretty damn incredible if you ask me. He is a lot of fun to play with. Just a little bit salty that he's kind of just a reskin of the Tappy. He's even got like the same sort of movement based abilities. So you hit C to go down and that sort of stuff. I get it why they did it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, that's a little bit lazy, but whatever. So, yeah, you can also dive bomb with this guy as well. So you can see they're very similar to the Griffin. You can't actually, like, land and do the damage. But you can still gain extra speed. It's not much. You can see in our speed bar down the bottom left-hand corner there. If we go into the dive position, we'll get a little bit of a boost. There you go. You can see that it fills the bar right up. But, yeah, this guy's really great. I'm really keen to get some, like, proper combat in with him and stuff like that. But we're going to quickly go over how you can actually tame this guy now. So we're just going to land here. Now, from what I've seen, I haven't actually seen any wild ones so far. But I am assuming they will be flying very high in the sky. You can wait for them to land like tappies. But I do believe they will take a while to land. But, I mean, you can still wait for them. It is still possible for them to land. And you can actually just bowler them. So we're just going to draft off of that. Get away from that Carno. Look at that. And you can actually see the draft like wins off the back of dinos. Alrighty, so we've got the wild one. Ooh, let's get that properly. Alrighty guys, so to actually tame this guy, you need a ballista turret and the chain bowler. Now, the only problem with this is that it's not really portable, so it's a little bit difficult to sort of take it with you. So you will probably need to build a trap, bring a Parisa or even a Quetzal to tame these guys up. Because they can be rather difficult to try and track down, especially in the air. But you can wait for them to land, build a trap around it, and then chain bowler it. They are also aggressive, so they will come after you if you attack them or anything like that. And then from there, it's pretty much a passive tame. So you can see we're going to wait until it's hungry again. Now, these guys use extraordinary kibble. You can also tame them using mutton like we're doing right now. Even prime meat and raw meat. It'll eat all of that, but obviously mutton and the kibble are the best things to use on this guy. But, yeah, so that's all you really need. Now, do take note, in between your chain bowler shots, you will actually need to give it a little bit of time, because otherwise it won't work. So it's the same situation as sort of bowlers. So you can see there, we'll hit him, but it won't actually bowler him, because he's still on the cooldown for the bowler shot that we just fired at him. So I think it's about a 5 or a 10-second cooldown on it. And you can see there he's still hungry, which is unfortunate, but I can definitely see these guys being brought into traps, because that is going to probably be the easiest way to tame these guys up. Like I said, they do get aggressive, so you can easily build a trap, run into it, close the door, and then just chain bowler this guy from the outside. I assume that would work. We'll build a couple of traps and find out for you, and we'll make a video on that if you guys want to see it. But their food drain's really damn slow. This is the second one we've tamed this way. Well, obviously, it's the only way you can tame it. And yeah, their food just takes absolutely forever to drain. So you definitely want to build a trap for these guys. It's definitely worth it. But we'll try one more time before he goes out. Where are you, mate? And fire. There we go. Yeah, so you can see that we just had it on slow-mo ×4. And it definitely takes its sweet bloody time trying to tame up. But nonetheless, these guys look damn dope. And I'm really keen to get out there and actually tame one the proper way. I'm just trying to figure out what its right click ability does, because I'm not 100% sure. Alrighty guys, so I actually figured out what the right click attack does for the Tropeo, and that's actually his armor sundering attack. So in the dossier it says that he's got the armor sundering attack, and that's what his right click does. So if we attack someone with a bunch of armor, the Tropeo will pretty much just shred through it, very similar to like the Gigantopithecus, and I think that's the only other armor sundering dino there is. So as well as that, any sort of items that you want to grind in its inventory, you can actually do so. All you need to do is click on the item, and you can see there it pops up under the show ancestors, and you can grind multiples. Let's just come down here for the land. There we go. Land for me, mate. Sweet. Awesome. There's the gust of wind. Is he not going to grind them? I wonder why he's not grinding wood for. That's a little bit strange. I'm not sure why he's not letting us grind the wood, but you can see here we're able to grind all the, maybe it's just not letting us. You can see we're grinding all the items down, so you can definitely do this and use this guy as a portable grinder. If you get any loot from like a juicy raid that you want to break down, you can easily do so on the fly with this guy, which is pretty good. Also, one other ability that we forgot to cover was his ability to do some mad like in-air dash maneuver. So you can see here we're going pretty fast, we're flying, but if you want to spin around, you just hit C on the computer and you can actually turn around. And it's like a really good evasive maneuver. So if you're trying to like outgank someone or get behind someone, you can hit C and fly behind them, and you can actually just change directions really quickly. It only sort of works front to back. It doesn't work the other way around. Like you can't go side to side. You kind of can. It's a little bit janky, but yeah, that's pretty much all of his abilities. So, nonetheless, this guy is pretty incredible in terms of abilities. He's got some real killer ones, and I'm definitely looking forward to taming this guy up. But I believe we've pretty much covered everything on this guy. His abilities, how you tame him, the kibble, all that sort of stuff. So, definitely try and get your hands on one of these guys ASAP. It will be dropping on all platforms. It should have already dropped on all platforms. Xbox, PlayStation, consoles included. Crystal Isles is also dropped, only on PC. The consoles are coming in September, I think. And it's also free on the Epic Store. So if you need any pointers or anything like that, guys, feel free to check out any of my other videos, because we cover a lot of stuff in them. But yeah, guys, Tropeognathus, he's one hell of a dude, and I'm really keen to play around with him some more. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe down below for more. But other than that, guys, I will catch you in the next one.